Hello and welcome to gusmcdollgames. I'm Nick McDowell and today we're playing part 2 of Convoy 13 No Reply, the 10th mission in the NATO campaign in Naval War Arctic Circle. Naval War Arctic Circle is based on a hypothetical Great Arctic War set in 2030 and fought in the North Atlantic, Arctic, Baltic and the North Sea. The NATO campaign covers the Great Arctic War as experienced from the Northern Partnership and NATO alliances. In Convoy 13 No Reply, we must defend NATO convoys against attacks. Major reinforcements are being transported across the Atlantic to reach the operations theatre. Undoubtedly, the enemy knows that we are here. Long-range bombers, surface ships, and not the least submarines are a major threat to the convoys. Our objective is to defend the convoys. In the last episode, we introduced friendly forces, launched numerous AMRAAM against an Il-78 tanker that refuses to die, and dodged an incoming air-to-air missile. We also set up the anti-submarine warfare screen for the 3 convoys. Now, more AMRAAM are closing the Il-78. F-35s have also fired AMRAAM against the Berry of A-50U Schmel. This is an airborne early warning and control aircraft. It gives the enemy situational awareness of the location of our convoys and aircraft. Excellent, it is shot down. This gives us a major advantage, effectively blinding the enemy. The two 160 Blackjack strategic bombers are still out of range. The lead F-35 turns on its AN/APG-81 radar to keep a fix on the Tupolevs. To the south, the tanker aircraft continues to run from the latest salvo of AMRAAM. It has outrun previous salvos. And does so again. Over at Goose Bay, the Poseidon vectors to an ASW patrol area north of the Bonhomme-Richard group. The Poseidon out of Lossiemouth is headed to a patrol area ahead of the Teddy Roosevelt. The fighters out of Lossiemouth are still tracking towards Keflavik. Back to Convoy 13. In the last episode, we did not properly introduce these forces, only getting as far as the Princeton, a Ticonderoga-class guided missile cruiser. The convoy is centred on the Iwo Jima, another Wasp-class escort carrier. Like the Bonhomme-Richard, it has 92 RIM 116 rolling airframe missiles with 5 nautical mile range against air targets, a Phalanx close-in weapon system, and 24 Sea Sparrow missiles with 10 nautical mile range against air targets. Next is the McCampbell, an Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer. It has the same loadout as the other Arleigh Burkes: 56 SM-2 missiles, 20 Harpoon anti-shipping missiles, 16 Evolved Sea Sparrow missiles, a Mark 45 5-inch gun, a Phalanx close-in weapon system, 10 Tomahawk TLAM-C, 8 RUM-129 vertical launch anti-submarine rockets, and 20 Mark 54 lightweight hybrid torpedoes against submarines. The final ship is a vital container ship. The other ships are just protection, and this is the vital asset. Let us imagine it is carrying tanks, helicopters, and lots of Javelin anti-tank guided missiles for the ground forces in Northern Europe. More AMRAAM are targeting the tanker aircraft. It is almost out of range, and the F-35 launch even more. The F-35 have expended half their missiles on this one plane. It deploys countermeasures and evades again. The Airboss and the Teddy Roosevelt launches 2 more F-35s against the Tupolevs. That makes 6 aircraft scramble against the bombers. The Bonham-Richards ASW screen is in position. They lower, hover, and deploy dipping sonar. The Il-78 tanker proceeds east. Its luck finally runs out and it is shot down over the North Atlantic with no survivors. Only the Tupolev strategic bombers remain on the threat board. Suddenly we detect a Sukhoi T-50, the dreaded Su-57 Felon. The F-35B chasing the Tupolevs abandon the pursuit to defend themselves. But they have done their job, driving the Tupolevs into the path of other fighters to the south. The F-35s launch against the Felon. A second Felon is detected and another pair of F-35 launch against it. The first Felon evades the missile. The Bonham-Richard group has launched surface-to-air missiles against the second Felon. Multiple AMRAAM are inbound. Around 5. No one is taking chances here. The second Felon is shot down. The F-35 vectored to intercept the Tupolevs. Vampire, vampire, vampire! The Bonham-Richard group detects inbound 3 M54E Club missiles designated SSN-27s. These are surface-to-surface naval missiles fired from an undetected ship or submarine. Convoy 12 immediately starts launching surface-to-air missiles at the inbound missiles. On board, the crew hurriedly don their flash hoods and gloves. There are 3 separate groups of missiles from 3 separate launch points of origin. I suspect this means 3 submarines lying in ambush. Spectacular coordination. The closest group are close enough to see the missiles launching from the convoy's protective escort. Missiles are shot down, others continue. Convoy 12 continues to launch. The F-35 launch against the first Felon. The missile salvos continue in. The first salvo is defeated. Then the second. And the third. Great relief on board all ships in the convoy. The F-35 are still tracking the inbound two 160 bombers. They launch missiles, as do the incoming fighters from the Teddy Roosevelt. North of Scotland, the F-22 Raptor patrol has detected and identified inbound Tupolev Tu-22M3 bombers. These are capable of maritime strike, but also land strike against Lossiemouth. The F-22 launch against the first pair at maximum range. Lossiemouth launches another pair of F-22 Raptors to back them up. Meanwhile, missiles are out against the Tupolev Tu-160s. So far, I have not detected anything launched by them. A near miss as the Tupolevs turn to evade. You can see the swept-wing design of this bomber. The F-35 from the Teddy Roosevelt are finally within range and launch AMRAAM. The second aircraft in the pair is shot down. The lead aircraft evades. To the east, AMRAAM are closing on the Tupolev Tu-22M3s. One is shot down, 3 to go. The Raptors fire again. The Tu-160 has turned towards Convoy 12 again. It evades a second AMRAAM. More are launched. To the east, another of the two 22M3 are shot down. A third evades. And then is shot down. The fourth and final bomber is running for Iceland, pursued by an AMRAAM. It evades. The final Tu-160 races at over 2,000 km an hour to evade 3 inbound AMRAAM. The last of the 4 Tu-22M3s is shot down. Lossiemouth is safe. But more missiles are launched. The bomber goes evasive. It shakes the missiles. In this episode, fighters from Convoy 12 shot down the Berry of airborne early warning and control aircraft. Fighters from the Teddy Roosevelt shot down the Il-78 tanker aircraft. One of 2 Tupolev Tu-160 strategic bombers was shot down, 1 remaining. And F-22 Raptors from Lossiemouth shot down 4 Tupolev Tu-22M3 bombers from Keflavik and occupied Iceland. Also, Convoy 12 survived an ambush of 3 separate missile salvos of SSN-27 Club missiles. But more is still to come in the next episode. As always, thanks for watching. For more Naval War Arctic Circle content, check out the NATO campaign and Jersey blockade playlists on our channel. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and donate, and stay tuned for the next episode.